What is going on, crypto family? This is your boy Random Arts coming with a quick video. And on today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about a commonly theme within a CTO, especially the early phases, and that's whales selling. And this is what we want to see, guys. In order for growth to happen, we definitely would love to see whales sell. So we had another whale take an exit today. They sold about $20,000 worth of roar, but they took like a $12,000 loss in the process of doing so, which to me was not smart, because when it comes to CTO, after a sell-off, there's typically a bounce, kind of like how we seen this well on the first. They took a big sold, they sold for like 20,000 as well. Then we started seeing a little inch up, going back, trying to test, back previous levels. Then today we just got that whale that just dumped another 20, and boom, they lost $12,000 just like that. So we're gonna be taking a look at some charts of some early CTOs, and you're gonna be able to see the same thing was happening for them. And eventually, after they cipher out the whales and from the non-believers and the people who pretty much wasn't contributing to the project at all until they got out, then that's when you really start seeing big run-ups on the chart. So before I dive too deeply into this video, do me a huge favor, smash the like button, consider subscribing. Definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts about today's video. Now, coincident? I don't think so. This is GameStop's chart. They also seen a nasty dump as well too. And normally we do move with GameStop, especially when we're pushing the GameStop meta. A lot of people come into Roaring Kitty based upon GameStop. So if GameStop starts to do bad, of course you're going to see people start to sell. To me, that's dumb because Roaring Kitty is not just one narrative type of token, because as soon as GameStop stopped being a narrative, we flip over to CTO, or we flipped over to Shiba, and we flip over to being a cat. Like, we have so many different narrative, and it's just not one narrative type of token, and it could pop at any given time based upon our many narratives. So this is why, just because GameStop is going down, it's not smart to be selling your token based upon this one narrative. Now, taking a look here, guys, like I mentioned, it was a $20,000 sale, and this person, guys, essentially lost $12,000 based upon, just not hodling. And look where they were buying. They were buying it when it was going up in here. It took some, some small profits. This time around, they were getting it on the green candles as well as getting it on the dip. We started having a rebound. They did buy yesterday just for today for them to just boop, snipe it. And now we're seeing, I guess you could even say, like, this could be forming right here, a little support here in the threes, which is not bad because, again, if you look at the overall market, we're still in line. Bitcoin has not surpassed its all-time high, so we still have not seen that pump yet for Bitcoin. Once that happens, it is going to bring up a lot of different assets. Now, let me show you guys where we're currently at on the chart as a CTO, because again, with the CTO, the only people that could sell on the chart is people who bought the chart, had to buy in. And after they buy in, their capital is in a liquidity pool. They could pull it out when they sell, either for profit or for a loss. In the case of the whale, they end up getting a loss. So if we look at Turbo, like, this is the run up that we all are waiting for. This huge spike parabolic move going for, a couple of $1 million market cap all the way upwards of hundreds to billions of dollars worth of market cap. But if we zoom out, and this is why I say, like, history is the best teacher, guys. It is the best teacher, so that way you guys can know where you're at and how you're going to be able to get. Let me reset this because it looks like it's a little. Let's see here. All right. So look at this. From the start of Turbo, we had this big parabolic move followed by this dump. Had a pop, dump. And these are the pops that we're currently seeing. Like, everybody, I think majority of the believers, the people who are in Roaring Kitty, could feel that the next leg up on Roaring Kitty could happen legit at any given time, because that pop that we just seen, like this pop right here, It almost seemed like it just came out of nowhere, right? So we're starting to see these run ups, kind of like how these, like after long period of consolidation. And what tend to happen is people who bought in here or in here, they're going to be acting as points of resistance, right? Or if they bought during this pump right here, let's just say they bought like at the 0.20307 during its run up, and this thing starts going down, they're going to automatically be scared. They haven't been in the project long enough, so they're not really knowing what's going on. Next time it has a pump going back to that same area, they're going to probably try to sell for break even or take a smaller loss. And that's exactly what we saw here with Turbo. And this is why we've seen continuous downward pressure. Like any pop was met with sales. Any pop met with sales. Pop met with sales. Because again, it's battling between the believers and the non-believers. The people who believe where this project is going versus the people who just looking to try to make a quick buck, or they got FOMO and they just saw the project and not really connected. And boom, they get this other pump. Of course, you're going to get this dump right here because now you're getting people who really don't see the long-term vision of the project. Then after really just ciphering these people out, you know, it's just going to happen. You cipher them out, then you get this big, big parabolic move, and it's like off to the races. Oh my God. Now everybody, this is typically when most influencers really start to pick up on projects. Like this is the time that influencers start getting. So imagine this. If you're only buying projects when influencers start talking about it, like talking about the big name influencers, look at the upside that you're just limiting yourself. I mean, you do get upside, but versus you finding a project before holding on to it, being a whale in it. Because I see a lot of people that's whales in Roar. They'll dump their whale status just to get into another project, just to be like a minnow. Like typically, if you're moving funds from Roar and you're a whale in Roar and you're adding it to another project and you're not a whale in that project, you're capping the amount that you could potentially make. You know, so instead of you making 200, 300, 400x, you're essentially trying to settle for like a 2x based upon profits, 2, 3, 4, 5x. Nothing major. And that, again, that's what I typically see. Popcat, same thing for it. Like this big parabolic move, this is what everybody tend to see, but people don't look at what Popcat had to go through. Had to go through whale dumping. Like this was caused by whales. Whales had to dump. This big candle right here, whales had to dump, and it was just constant like sell pressure. Sell pressure. It had a pop, whales dump. Had a pop, whales dump. Had a pop. Then eventually, it ciphers the people who got lucky and got into the project early. Once they took their profits and they get out, now it's really time for the believers to really shine in the project, and boom, you see this nice big green parabolic action. Same thing for SPX, guys. Like again, these are just commonly patterns that I see time and time again, and this is why I tend to get excited when whales leave, because when whales leave, all I'm seeing is like, oh my God, the next pump could be the next one that just takes it and makes it go parabolic. So same thing, XPX. Look at this. It was having a pump, followed by a dump. Soon as it pump, dump. Soon as it pump, super dump. It pump, and you get this dump. And these are whales that just constantly causing the sell pressure. So eventually, after the whales was out, it was just left with believers, guys. Believers, and since the believers and the holder count is growing, those tokens that was out with the whales, they're well distributed. Now you don't have too big of a sell pressure. Then boom, you get this big green candle, big parabolic move, and that's what you see. And all of these charts, guys, that I'm just showing you, they're all CTO. So I'm gonna leave the video off with this one, because this is a recent CTO that I talked about on the channel as well. They're currently experiencing that first leg up on their them being a CTO or whatever. But yeah, you see this pump followed by dump, pump, dump, pump, wells again dumping. Pump, dump, pump. Whales again, they're just selling. Look at this. These are whales that are just causing the price to go down like this. And finally, eventually, guys, guess what they started seeing? Huge parabolic move. It went from a roughly a $2 million market cap all the way up to 20. It's currently at $25 million market cap. So like it was a $2.5 million market cap. So it just did a 10x like right overnight, because after it ciphered out all the different whales, all the different people, and now I'm seeing more and more people are looking into the project, and their volume that they're getting on a day-to-day basis is a lot higher, because again, this project in itself was seeing roughly on the day-to-day basis maybe 10, 12, 13, 20, $30,000 worth of volume. And after that's gone, then now it's doing practically almost $1 million every day. So hopefully this was educational for you. Hopefully you guys are not getting scared, based upon somebody else's selling, because again, they could sell after they're done selling. They're running out of token. The community itself, more people are coming in. They're going to be able to buy up that dip, and this is what we're currently already seeing right now on Roaring Kitty. As you can see, there's the green candle, and by next week or the next 2 weeks, we may even start reaching back out to where we were at before. So just keep that in mind. But leave a like though, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts about today's video. Random Mart signing off. Peace!